Let's start at the beginning. The Fiat 500 was launched in 1957 and was manufactured right up to 1975, with nearly 4 million produced. It was a sign of the times. In the late 50s, motoring was regarded as an expensive commodity to many, to which Fiat had devised a solution: a cheap and practical city car for everybody. Fast forward 5 decades and you realise history has a habit of repeating itself.
Get down!
When you're redoing an iconic car such as the 500, it's so important that it lives up to its previous generation's hype, something Fiat seems to achieve so much better than other manufacturers.
One of the nicest features I think about the interior is this pool ball gear shift, and I love it when a gear shift is mounted on the dash. I had a Civic Type R that was the same, and it just makes more sense being right next to the steering wheel. Reaching around on the floor is never ever as good as having it right where it needs to be. This is a city car, so it's really good for all the twisty stuff, and I've got city mode on the steering, and it's so light. You can just do it with one finger, and you can actually throw it and it will keep turning. It's the lightest steering I've ever had on any car I've ever driven.
The benefits of its diminutive size are immediately apparent when you see a parking space that puts the majority of other cars off. If you live in a busy city, this is exactly the sort of size car you should be looking at. It never seems to look out of place anywhere it goes, and is one of the very few classless examples of a car, a trait in motoring that is extremely rare.
Actually one of the very few modern cars you can buy, and you still feel like you're in a little club. You only have to look at the alternatives of what you can buy now and just realise how much more character this has than anything else in any price range, arguably.
This is just a 4-seater, but you do have a decent amount of room for 4 adults, with a surprising amount of headroom. The space in the back, as with many modern cars, has been at the expense of boot space. The boot is unquestionably tiny. In technical terms, it's a very different car from the original. Front engine, front wheel drive, water cooled, etc. And the new one is a damn sight safer, with a hugely impressive 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating. With the impeccably charming styling of yesteryear, without having to live with some of the annoyances and shortcomings of owning an old car, you really are getting the best of both worlds.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and this is a really good re-envisionment of what principles the original Fiat 500 stood for. One criticism I would have is, and it's a small criticism, is the noise of the menu. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's exactly the same as on my microwave